Howdy, everybody. I am here with my friends Derek and his awesome wife, Johnetta. How y'all doing today?
Doing great.
Great. So what we're going to talk about today, we're going to discuss relationships because, you know, I love a good love story. Awesome. Everybody does. So let's just go ahead and get started. The first question I want to ask you both is, tell me about how y'all first met. Derek, I'm going to let you go first.
So we actually first met when she was in grad school at the University of Georgia. At the time, she was walking downtown, and we kind of heard this chant from this school called Fort Valley, which is our rival school for Albany State. And we figured, you know, we would just kind of go taunt them a little bit because, you know, Fort Valley and Albany State there's a lot of history there. So we figured we would just kind of go mess with them a little bit. And she's very fiery. I mean, you know, she had quick responses, quick on her feet. And, you know, we ended up just kind of building a friendship based off of that. We were friends with her and, you know, her entire group. So we just kind of exchanged numbers and just figured that we would stay in touch because we had a lot in common. We were, you know, around the same age. You know, we figured we can hang out with one another. It kind of helped them understand or get to know the city that we were in because that's where we were living and where we were from originally.
Okay. So tell me, like, what about the chant that, like, I want to hear the chant. Can we? You don't remember the chant? That's okay.
I just remember us, like, having conversations, and we may have mentioned Fort Valley State, and maybe, like, in passing, they heard us mention Fort Valley State. Like, I don't remember a chant.
I mean, we might have been across the street, and we heard Fort Valley, and we jumped across the street, and we were like, okay, Fort Valley, hey. You know, and that was it. And, you know, of course, we ended up just kind of going back and forth with them and striking up a pretty good friendship with them. And we figured that, again, you know, we had a lot in common. And, you know, we figured it would be great people to keep in contact with.
How about you, Johnetta? Tell me about that day that y'all met. Like, let me know some information.
We were all downtown. I do remember walking with some of my friends, you know, we still keep in contact, and just having conversations. And then all of a sudden, there was like this huge trash talk session in the middle of downtown Athens, which is, you know, yeah. I'm fine with that. Like, it doesn't bother me. So I do remember us all kind of exchanging phone numbers and keeping in touch. But I don't think we exchanged numbers initially, but somehow we ended up being friends for quite a while, even before our first date.
I think because we kept bumping into each other. Like, I used to work at that time. I wasn't working anywhere. It was just kind of it was a rough time. Like, I had just gotten out of a really serious relationship. I had a girlfriend in college that I graduated with. And I thought that she was the one. And yeah, she ended up, you know, things went kind of wrong. Like, you know, we ended up having a pretty bad breakup. She ended up finding somebody else. And I was like, at that time when I met her, I was kind of like a dog with the tail tucked between his legs. Like, I was very broken. I couldn't find a job. I graduated in May. At that time when we met, it was probably September. I still didn't have a job. I thought that when I graduated from college, I would just find a job. So, you know, I was just broken. And my homeboy at the time, he ended up just getting me out of the house. He was like, come on, you know, let's go downtown. Let's go hang out, go to some bars. And, you know, let's have some fun. And he was always really good about that and, you know, getting me out. And in turn, we ended up meeting them and bumping into them, so it was a blessing in disguise.
Tell me about the journey from the friendship to the actual relationship part. I want to hear Jonetta's version of this right here actually first. You know what? Before we even get to that, like was there like a friend zone type thing happening? It was like, did you see my man's here and you like friend zone, or did it kind of like a natural thing? I gotta hear this journey.
It was very natural. natural. Like, he was very easy to talk to. He was very consistent.
When you say consistent, like, give me an example.
If he, for the most part, did what he said he was going to do. If he said he would call me on a particular day, he did. If I needed something, I could call him and he would help. There were like maybe some friend dinners in between, but it was nothing romantic. It was just, hey, let's grab something to eat kind of thing. And he was always just really nice. Like, just a nice guy.
What was the turning point though? Like from like that zone to like, okay, we're gonna take this one step further. Like, what was the turning point for you?
So I remember that day clearly.
Okay, awesome.
He invited me out to go shopping. He was having a birthday party, and he wanted to find something nice to wear, so he invited me out to go shopping to help him. So we left Athens and went to the Mall of Georgia and just hung out and spent the day together. And then on the way back, I think we stopped and had dinner at Bahama Breeze.
We did.
And in the car, he put his hand on my knee, and I got butterflies. And in that moment, I knew that, this can be more than just my friend.
Okay.
I didn't even think she was on I didn't think I was on her level. I mean, she was in grad school. She was working, on her advanced degree. I was working in grocery stores at the time. Like, I didn't have a big professional job like I wanted when I got out of college. The kind of guys that she was talking to that I knew of were working on their masters, working on their PhDs. I was just a guy with a college degree that was trying to find, a decent job. I was merchandising at Walmarts and doing a lot of things. I had to humble myself, and I didn't think that I was where, she probably envisioned somebody, or would want to be with. So.
Do you remember that day after in the car we put your hand on her knee? Do you remember that?
I do. I mean, it was different. It was unexpected. Like, we had a really good time. It was kind of like, I felt like I was in a friend zone. I didn't have any intention on there ever being more. Like, when you go from being good friends with somebody for like 5 years, and you're having conversations about different people that you're talking to, and once you get put in that brother zone, that friend zone, you never think that you're going to get out. For me, I mean, she was just, I genuinely invited her to try to help me get my wardrobe together. Like, I was going to have a birthday party. I remember I had a birthday party, and it wasn't a special birthday. It was like a 28th or something. I ended up going to the Velvet Room and getting like a VIP section. I had like 20 or 30 bands and wristbands for my friends to come and celebrate. I paid for it all myself, and I wanted her to come, and she was like, no, I don't do the club. And I was like, okay, well, help me find an outfit, because a woman's perspective, they have a little better eye for what looks nice. So we ended up going up to Gwinnett, went to K&G, got this really nice suit. I never would have picked myself. She styled me really nice. Like, I thought I was like the new Key Sweat that night or something. It was like an all white suit that was just.
And I'm still styling him.
That's the job. I understand totally. That's a good thing though.
I felt like I was doing it that night, and she surprised me because she said that she wasn't going to come, and she ended up coming. And but before that, when I put my hand on her knee, that wasn't intentional. It was like we were laughing, we were having a good time. No pressure. It was like I wasn't trying to impress. I was just being myself, being silly, being funny. Just might have been riding in the car and just, it just happened.
At any point, did you have to like say, like, "Are you gonna be my girlfriend?" Or was this at that point? Was it just gonna be an assumed thing?
No. I mean, I had the party that night. She ended up coming. Honestly, I probably spent more time with her. I was so happy she was there. We danced and we had a pretty good time. And after that was over with, actually one of my frat brothers were there that night, and he saw her. He was like, she's nice. You mind if I talk to her? I was like, yeah, man, go ahead and talk to her. That's my homegirl. Go ahead and talk to her.
Friend zone.
I mean, I being a man, I didn't want to be a hater. So I was like, okay, if you want to talk to her, go ahead and talk to her. That's my friend. That's my homegirl. She's like my sister. So, he went ahead and had a couple of conversations with her and, tried to talk to her. And that's where, things kind of changed, because she approached me the next day and was like, I don't want to talk to him. I want to talk to you.
So tell me about that. Right? Tell me about that right there. Do you remember that part of it?
So to me, I couldn't understand why, after we had, this wonderful time together, why would he try to send another gentleman to try to spend time like that? Didn't make sense to me. And so when I talked to him, I was like, yeah, not interested. So, what are we gonna do? I'm not interested in him. I thought we were vibing and having a good time. What are we gonna do? And so I think we may have met for lunch or something.
Yeah, we went to Carrabba's in the Athens area, and I wasn't expecting anything. Like, I had a great night, a little hungover at the time, but
I think at that point, that's when I was like, are we or are we not?
Oh,
she
okay.
was straight.
Okay,
Like
you straight shooter. You just came straight out.
I'm not gonna play games with you. Like, what are we gonna do?
Like, I wasn't even expecting. It was like what? Like, for real? Like, you like that?
Whatever.
Like, I was like, okay, because I was caught up on this guy code thing that, you can't be a hater. Like, I was like, if my homeboys, if he likes you, I'm not going to block, I'm not going to be a hater. He can talk to her. But she basically put all the cards on the line and was like, okay, I like you. And
this was over like lunch?
Over lunch.
Over lunch, okay.
Like, just right there. And,
So note, guy code can make you miss your blessing.
yeah.
Duly noted.
Yeah.
Duly noted.
I was surprised, because if she had never done that, I would have just kept.
I have a question for you on that. Do you think, so, like, this is, try to say, like, oh, you're in the friend zone, like, that's just it. So there's actually a way to transition out of that. Because y'all seem like y'all both was in the friend zone. Y'all both kind of friend zoned each other to a certain degree.
Yeah.
But, you pulled the trigger. It was like, what are we going to do next? Right? After that evening, did you think about that as well? Like, even though you're kind of hanging out in the back of your mind, did you kind of think about that?
I was shocked. Like, I was just at a loss for words. She's the type of woman that, in my mind, I always felt like I always felt like I never got what I liked or what I wanted. So it was just blocked out of my mind. I was like, okay, she's the type of woman that if I would stop talking to everybody else and I would put all my focus into her, because I know she's about, her business. She's very, articulate. She's everything that you would want, your woman to be. And she deserves nothing but the best. So, when it ended up happening, it was like a shock. Like, I was so caught off guard, but, I'm really glad it happened, because, again, I was just at that time thinking, I can't never have the type of women that I want. Like, I was like, PhD, no, I'm not even in her league. Like, it's no way she could like me.
So she was like your ideal mate, but just kind of, okay. Did you know that he thought that about you?
I didn't.
That's
Because I
interesting.
consider myself to just be a regular, everyday, just doing what I have to do.
That's what I, really love about you. Like, there are a lot of women that, get to a certain point and they wanted somebody that's already there, and somebody that's, already at that point in their life. You help build with me. And, that's one of the things that, I love about you.
I like that. That's dope. That's dope.